What's up, YouTube? Back with another video. LA Mamba. It is July 23, 2023. And here to talk to you about the tire shop business, multiple streams of income. And here you go. I was just thinking back when I was getting started as out of high school, right? 18 and up. I want to make this video because there's a lot of people in the same place. They're gonna want to get into the tire shop business or the tire business, and they have some questions. How does it all work? Like, how am I gonna make money? I remember when I would go to the landfill to dump junk tires. Again, those ages of like 18, 19, 20, pretty much before I even had a car, man. I had a car. I remember, I had 21. I don't think I had a car when I was 18. No, never mind. I did have a car at 18, never mind. But around those ages when I really got a car, right? That's like, we're really starting life and stuff with the business life, right? But anyways, the first 3 years, it was like going to the landfill, dumping tires, and thinking, man, how am I gonna make money if this type of activity is not gonna make me money. I was working for my dad at the tire shop, so I was working for him, and then I was dumping tires, and I'm thinking, man, it's gonna be kind of tough to make money in life if I gotta be doing these kind of activities, because it's not creating money, right? But the thing is, you're working for somebody. Those are things you gotta do at the tire shop. That's not gonna make money for yourself. Yeah, it's gonna make what currently $15 an hour pay, and that's actually if you own a tire shop, you still kind of do $15 an hour jobs still here and there. If you're doing things like me, like a small tire shop, right? Which is fine. One of the big reasons I do is because I just love to do it. One of the things is like sweep and clean and freaking throw water and clean the area, right? As you can see, it's all like super clean on the floor. That's a $15 an hour job. But anyway, so I'm like, damn, what can I do, right? And all right, let's figure it out. We're going again. I don't have kind of much money then, right? It just, got out of high school, and it's even though my dad has the business for many years at that point, he opened it in 78, so he's already been many years in the business when I was already out of high school. And I was, born way after 1978. So then all right, but I gotta figure it out. What am I gonna do? And it's you start small, you go one step at a time, and you just start understanding the business. Start building skills and start understanding. So I started understanding to begin with. That's what I started to do. I started learning the business, on my own, not through what was selling currently, but what was the customers asking. And I want to say that's one of my biggest secrets in the business, and you can't really tell about it. You really got to go through it and experience it. So I listened to what the people were asking, the customers, right? So, which means what people are when they come in and they ask for a certain size, then it's you gotta I don't write it down because I have a really good memory, but okay, this size they ask, and then that size, and then that size. So then they start thinking, all right, well, we don't have those sizes, but customers are asking for them. And back then they're barely starting, low profiles was barely starting to come out or become popular. So man, and that's including the 275, 55, 20. That's when those things barely started coming out. And that was super long time ago. But anyway, so I was like, all right, well, you know, customer asking for these sizes, we don't have them. I should probably find a way to get these. At the time, it felt like it was impossible because I didn't have no connections of tires. And it's like, all right, well, like, how am I gonna do it? Like, you know, no one has these that I know of. So we started looking for new places. I started looking for new places, sorry. And yeah, I went online and it was hard to find. I looked and I looked and looked. You know, back then the internet was like way less than what it is now. So even less people were posting stuff, and luckily they did post and I found it. So I went, we went to go check it out, and I was like, yeah, this is it. We found a good spot. So I found a good spot, and then me and my dad went and we bought tires, right? We picked them out, and I got some on my side, by myself, right? And so, like, these are my tires, but if he sells them, then they'll sell, it's all good and shit. But, you know, I'm gonna post them online, see how that works, or on my own on the side. And then, yeah, so little by little, like, on the side, I just started doing things on the side, right? Like, posting online. Early stages, it was some low profile tires, and also my dad, he had a connection with some people in Hesperia, and they just always brought him like military tires, right? And like they would just sit there, like they wouldn't sell, they would just sit there. But my dad just loved them, like he just liked to buy them. Like he knew, like, oh, he would say big tires, big money. But he would sound very slow here at the shop. And then I was like, man, there's a bunch of the same ones. Just get rid of these things. I'll put them for sale too. And then so I posted those two also. And then that's when my very first sale when it came to tires online was military tires. 37, 1250, 16.5. And it was like, wow, like, you know, put it on sale. And cousin called me, and he came to the shop. I'm sorry, he came to my house. He's like, I can't be there during shop hours. Can you take it to your house? I'll pick him up over there. I was like, yeah. We threw him in the back of my dad's truck. He showed up at night with his family, bought him. We talked a little bit, and that was it. By the way, side story, I still know that guy that bought that set. He's actually now one of my tenants. It's just a funny story, but he found me online again. And he's one of my tenants that he's been renting for me for years. Storage containers. He got he's renting 2 of my storage containers. So I still know that guy. Funny story. But anyways, it felt great. Like at that time, it was like my dad was paying $200. I'm sorry, $50 each tire from where he was buying from, and then I posted them for $400. Right, so I sold them for $100 each, and we was buying for $50 each, and so there was a profit of $200. And then my dad was like, you know, to help me out, he's just like, oh yeah, just give me the what I paid for, and you keep the rest. And I was like, all right, cool. So I made $200, and I was like, man, that was a lot of money back then. For me, you know, as a under 21-year-old, right? Like for sale online, like and money that came on the side, right? And And I was like, damn, that's awesome. It was like, it worked. And so I saw that it worked. So then I was like, I'll post harder now, right? And then, yeah, so I started posting harder. And then I started making more sales here and there. And that's when I learned, like, you know what? You got to advertise, you got to market in order to get customers, more customers. Because you're gonna get more customers, you're gonna get more sales, you're gonna make more money. And I was like, I got it. Sorry. I was like, I got it. Now I know how to make money on the side without interfering with my dad's business. I'm gonna be posting and I'm gonna be making money on the side. I'll hold the tires at my dad's shop just in case, like, oh yeah, some people want to come buy him here or whatever, in case he needs them, right? But that's how I was. Sold them. Military tire was selling, and then I started selling on the side my tires, and then I'll buy more, and I just had like, it felt like it was like 3 streams of income, but it was just really just one. It felt like it was like my dad's military tires that I was making money on those, and then when I was getting paid as a job for working for him, and then also selling tires on my own from like the low profile tires. And it starts really small. It just started like that, like, and I saw like, you know, back then I think it was like the 18s were hitting. You know, there was no 20s, like white 20s back then. It was like 18. So like it was like 295 35 18s. Like some cars had those, and you can find them used, and you can sell them online, and people wanted them. You know, the Camaro guys, the Corvette guys, right? And then so like I'll do that. I'll find those, and then I'll post them, and then and you know, similar sizes, 285 35, you know, 265 35. You know those sizes back then, right? If you were around back then, right? So yeah, I would post and I'll make money. I was like, man, I'm making pretty good money right now and shit, right? And I'll post even harder, and I'll get even better results. So I'll go even harder, right? So then, and then it goes from there. You just learn what the people are asking for, what people are, you know, even people are not really asking when it comes to the internet, but they'll tell you by buying. So now you understand, like, what are the hot sizes, right? At the current market, right? And I'll tell you right now, at the current market, what are the hot sizes? So I would get feedback from like both. I would get feedback from the shop, talking to the customers, helping them out, and I'll get feedback from the internet, what they would buy, what they would ask for too. Because they'll hit you up too, and they'll say, oh yeah, you have this, you have that. And I'll be like, yeah, we got it. You know, come down and, you know, make a sale. So you got to understand how to read the people, how to like, to understand what they're asking for. And from there, you're going to be now on the lookout for what they are asking for. And when you're going to go buy tires, or you're going to look for new places that are going to sell tires. And then you're gonna just make sales, and the more time you go by, the more time you're gonna understand exactly what they want, what more people are willing to buy. Because like, oh yeah, you don't have my size, but I'll take this size, or you tell them, oh yeah, I don't have that size, but you know, I have this size, and you can put it for that, and it's pretty much the same thing. All right, cool, I'll take it. And then that's how you also learn how to sell. You start learning to like change tire sizes, put this size for that size. You know, I don't have a 285 35, but I got a 265 40, 19, whatever. Oh, I'll take that one, whatever, right? And yeah, so I learned I learned really good about how to read, how to like, you know, back then you don't have no one like to like tell you, hey, like this is how it works, you know what I mean? So I had to figure it out on my own. It's like, all right, cool. Well, you know, if people are asking for this, you know, I try to look for those sizes, and yeah, like they'll come out. But as you go by, it's just learning more things. Like you go like, okay, well, people are asking for 295 35 18s, right? And it's like, all right, well, you go and you find some, BF Goodrich 265 75 16s or whatever it is, 285 75 16s. And you're like, oh shit. And then from there, I started going into the all-terrain tires. And I started signing a whole bunch of all-terrain tires because I knew the sizes, I knew what people were asking for. They love the BFGs back then. They still do now, but back then it was way different. Back then they saw a lot of big all-terrain tires used. And they would buy like pairs and whatever, even singles I saw online. I would just read the same thing, read it, understand, and buy them and sell when it comes to the big stuff, the big all-terrain sizes like this kind of stuff right here. 33s, 35s, 37s, even bigger 40s, 38s. It was a lot of like pairs. I was super happy with the pairs. It was a set, even better, home run. But with the pairs, I was just like, I knew like, oh, I see them all, I'm gonna sell these. 31, 10, 50, 15, 33, 10, 50, 15, 35, 12, 50, 15s. It was, sellers. So I started finding places on my own to go buy from warehouses, from used tire warehouses. And then I'll just buy them, bring them, and then sell them. And then they just like came like I'll post more and more. Back then I would like clean up the tires and shit, make them look nice, and just post them. And that's how I started making money like that. I just started posting. I knew I can make any time I wanted to make some money on if I just post enough. Just post enough and they'll come. And so I'll just go, and then so that's how I understand. And from there you understand how to do a lot more things, how to sell more. When it comes to volume, that comes after how to make more profit from tires, how to mark them up more. All right. There's from there you start grabbing how to like do more things. But I just want to stick from the beginning. It was understanding you got to market, you got to advertise. So if you're a new guy, starting out, and you want to, get into the tire shop business for sure, like whether like you feel like, oh, I want to start a mechanic shop, but I want to do tire shop on the side. You're like, oh, for sure, I still need to learn this style of business. I still need to learn this business because I'm going to do it for many years to come, probably potentially forever, right? And you're like, okay, how do I start this thing? Well, that's pretty much, you gotta go and find tires. Start with go finding used tires. I'll tell you right now, all the money you invest in used tires, man, your money's safe. Even the ones that you don't sell, the ones that you bought, that they will cover all that and even more. So let's say you buy 10 and you don't sell one. The profit on the 10, man, is just it'll cover way more than, because the thing is the tires are so cheap and you can sell for so much more that it's like all that profit that's made, it just doesn't matter what if you didn't sell the one, because it just high profits on the used if you're doing it right? Because if you if you have like one tire, right? If you have one tire and you sell it for like $50 installed, right? Let's just say. But if you have two tires and you can sell for like, let's say in my case, I can sell for like 75 each, so 150, right? If you have like a set of four, then you can go more than that if you want. You can probably sell for like 350 or something for the four. If you're trying to go for that route of like getting like expensive tires, like let's say like a Camaro set, like there's a bunch of Camaros out there, and you're like, all right, well, I just happen to have like four of the same tires, or it's four of the same brand, but it's a staggered fitment. Then you're like, oh, I can sell these for like $350, right? Just an example. And you got one, you can sell it for like $50. you have like 2, you can sell for like 150, right? Just an example. The value of tires go more when you have like sets. So, I mean, if you want to hold on to them, if you can find like, you know, my other thing was never holding on to tires. It was always sell. Even if I had a pair and someone wanted to buy one, I'll sell the one, because I knew there was so much customers out there that it doesn't matter. But if you have a pair and didn't sell, and then you have another pair that comes